Baby, please come home.
Come on, man, let's rock it. The snow's coming down. I'm watching it fall.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome, one and all, back to Movie Club. I, of course, am your host and curator around these parts, Patrick Smith, and thank you for coming back. November proved to be a very weird month here at Movie Club, but we thank you for joining us anyway, because, a lot of that was programmed before we knew the strike was officially going to end, but we loved every screening we got to do that month. But before we get started this month, here at what we're going to call Patrick Smith's Christmas Treat, say, you're spending lots of time with your family and you're loving it, but you need like an hour or two away just for yourself, just to kind of recoup, rehabilitate, and then get right back out there and go play some more holiday-themed games, or Jackbox, or whatever entertains your family. And that's what Christmas Treat is here to do this year for you. But regardless of what suits your fancy this holiday season, we're gonna have movies from all over the genre space, both rom-coms and nostalgic pictures about family to giant AI murder robots. And it's all happening at Christmas, so it's a really magical time. Whether you join us live tonight or you're watching all of these episodes on demand, we thank you for joining us this year here at Patrick Smith's Christmas Treat. And with all that setup being said, let's get started, because we got 2 films to tackle tonight. I'm gonna try and do that in pretty quick fashion. I've got my very old-fashioned note cards right here in the form of, well, not very seasonably colored post-it notes, but they'll get the job done. Up first tonight, we have an underseen classic from just 2 years ago in 2021. It dropped without much fanfare at all on HBO Max at the time, now Max, How the Times Change. And it was just this sweet little riff on what a lot of people consider a holiday classic, A Christmas Story. Now, you may love Ralphie in the pink bunny suit and all of the escapades from that film. I just gotta be honest with you, I never really connected with that film. I thought bits and pieces were very good, but overall, it didn't work for me as much as I wanted it to. But despite the fact that this is technically a riff on that film, but set in the 80s, a decade that is much more familiar to me in terms of nostalgic media being made about it, it was much closer to heart of growing up and desperately wanting the new console that everyone else was getting, or desperately trying to find a friend that had that console and make buddy-buddy with them so that way you could go over to their house and play it. That is very familiar to me, whereas some of the more traditional elements of A Christmas Story, for some people, that is 100% the nostalgia that they're looking for. It just is something that isn't a piece of my history, nor is it a kind of Christmas that necessarily I'm super connected to. But despite all of that, what 8-Bit Christmas does so well is it takes the DNA of a film that I don't love, but a lot of people do, and updates it for a modern audience. Filled with flashy visuals and creative special effects and editing, this is the kind of film that I think accomplishes the Christmas vibe so well. The melancholy, the beauty, the longing, and the crass capitalism that happens. But underneath it is a core story about family and the things that truly matter in this life. And how sometimes during the holiday season, we can get so absorbed with that stuff that we forget the things that really matter. Whether that's your real family by blood or your found family that you've assembled. Regardless of what family you spend the holidays with, those are the people that are actually important, not the stupid stuff that you get. In fact, I'm surrounded by Christmas gifts as we speak. Just off screen, which you can't see because, intentionally it's being hidden. One of the things that's kept me away from making Movie Club episodes this week is we're updating the desk. So a quintessential part of the studio that is Movie Club, i.e. my room, where I host all these episodes, has been completely updated. We're still in the process of getting it completely assembled and set for whatever the future may hold. So you're not gonna see it until early next year. But be on the lookout for that. So for now, I'm over in this corner, but I'm also surrounded by records and books like Uzumaki from Junji Ito, and plenty of other things that are clearly beautiful Christmas presents that my family has bought for me over the years that mean a lot to me. And it's films like 8-Bit Christmas that remind you of the people behind the gifts you so desperately long for. Long after the sheen of getting that book or that console or whatever you really wanted for Christmas that year, you're struck, especially when you see that very stuff lying around your room or lying around your house, about the people that bought that for you. Or maybe it is some cherished thing that you continuously use or constantly reference, as many of the academic books that are laying around my room, I clearly do. Or the equipment that makes up this very set that I've bought piecemeal or had bought for me piecemeal over several years. This set doesn't exist without the love and care and attention of family and friends and plenty of people who spend countless hours and time thinking What would Patrick like? What would you like? And then they went out and spent their hard-earned money and their time to go find something that accomplished that very goal. Regardless of how or who you're spending your Christmas with this year, it sometimes does you well to look back to the past and realize just how, great your life is and how great it is to be populated with the people you allow to be in it. This is why writer Kevin Jacobowski does such a good job with his script and the original book upon which it's based. It was so good that in 2019, his script made the annual Blacklist, which if you don't know what it is, it's a list that is made up by industry people of scripts and screenplays that just never got adapted to anything, never was made, but are clearly worthy of a look and they think could make really good movies. Luckily, comedy director Michael Dowse saw great potential in the script and decided to adapt it to the screen. With the backing of Warner Brothers behind him, he knew that he could assemble a great cast of amazing character actors and make something truly special out of the script. Dowse is known for his comedy films like Stuber, the Dave Bautista and Kumail Nanjiani buddy cop picture, as well as the romance picture What If? But 8-Bit Christmas stars an incredible cast, most notably Neil Patrick Harris, who's been making quite the rounds through Christmas material over the past couple years, whether it be a Harold and Kumar Christmas or even his most recent, Doctor Who output this December. Harris plays our protagonist as an adult, telling his daughter the story about this very specific 80s Christmas. How he desperately tried to get a hold of the coveted NES at the time that was being released, but also the weird family hijinks and antics that went up during that Christmas. Speaking of which, his dad is played by Steve Zahn, another amazing character actor who you've seen in a wide variety of movies, including one of my personal hidden gem favorites, Sahara, alongside Matthew McConaughey. Playing our lead as a child is Winslow Fegley, who you might know from this year's The Naughty Nine, also Lyle Lyle Crocodile, Night Books, and Come Play. Night Books you might remember from my coverage of it a couple years ago over on October Nights. So if you haven't seen that film, I highly recommend checking it out. The story has taken quite a journey to make it to the big screen though. Like I said, in 2019 it was on the blacklist of best unproduced scripts at the time, and now, this very year marks the first annual tradition of screening it on Warner-owned cable channels. So if you grew up, like I did, watching a lot of Christmas movies on TV, just dropping in wherever they were when you started, 8-Bit Christmas is already starting to become part of that tradition and make a vie for making it a veritable holiday classic, like the rest of the films that you saw on that very same format. Because honestly, what's better than gathering around with loved ones and watching a veritable Christmas classic on television? You've got plenty of ad breaks to go do whatever you need and make whatever snacks you need to, but you also get to spend that time making Christmas memories with people that you love. And that's the kind of vibe that I think 8-Bit Christmas does so well. It constantly brings us back to this theme of family. And, the thoughts of people that you loved and have lost and missed, but you keep alive through these nostalgic memories and these stories that you tell the next generation about people that you genuinely loved and times that you got to spend with them. And I think that's what makes films like 8-Bit Christmas so great. Hopefully it will inspire you to tell your own stories. Maybe not to your children. This isn't exactly an audience full of people with children, but at least to your friends of Christmas stories of years past that you truly loved and you want to share with them as well. And then go out this holiday season and make memories of your own with those very same people, so that eventually you'll be able to tell the stories of Christmases that you spent with them to other friends, to other family members, to loved ones. Now you see what you've done. You've gotten me all sentimental. Well, the good news is that this film is so damn wholesome. It's so brilliantly shot. It's so well acted and performed. It's very funny. It's lighthearted. But it's beautiful and sentimental in all the best ways. Sentimentality is kind of crucial to the experience of Christmas, at least a positive one, at least in my mind. And I think this film takes you to that very right headspace in order to truly get in the Christmas spirit. So, without further ado, to kick off our double stuffed double feature tonight, go ahead and make those s'mores and head on out to your treehouse so you can have a grand old time making Christmas memories as we start this incredible feature from just 2021. This is from writer Kevin Jacobowski and director Michael Dowse, 8-Bit Christmas. Oh, and of course I've been your host and curator around these parts, Patrick Smith, and this has been Movie Club. I hope to see you all at the movies.